Fucking gibberish regardless. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
right.
We're audio live on illiteracy. Hi, everybody.
Let's go!
It has been quite some time since our last venture into Barovia. I should get some music playing, actually. It's been quite some time since our last venture into Barovia. Please forgive us. Nature was not kind. Timing, Kronos was not kind. Some fat asses were very unlucky. But yeah, we're here. It's been a while. We start off introductions, right? Again?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know, you tell us.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Don't rush me. Alright, so we're gonna go left from right on my screen. Starting us off with the lovely Obsidian. Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Obsidian. I have started streaming again, usually on Thursdays, not this Thursday because I'm having Deadlands that day, but I've been streaming the Signalis mods for Resident Evil 4 Remake, and it's a lot of fun and silliness and gay robots. So be sure to check it out.
Absolutely, go check out Obsna. She is streaming again. Her socials are in the description, and her community is one of the most welcoming communities I've ever had something to be a part of. Just a little bit of extra show there. Anyways, like, 'cause you're back.
I'm back, baby.
Next up is Lily.
Hello, my name is Lily. I usually draw a bit, but I've actually been in a little bit of a burnout state of drawing, so I'm trying to give myself a moment because I kind of drew every day for 5 months straight when learning to draw, and that I'm learning was a mistake. At least that frequency. So letting myself have a bit of air to that. Still kind of working on character design stuff. But yeah, I'm just a weird little trans girl that posts on Twitter and Tumblr sometimes. So yeah, follow me there if you want to see some of that.
Please follow her. Funky little trans girl stocks will skyrocket when she starts drawing again, so you want to get in now. Alright, now for Yulia.
Yeah, it's me. Hi, my name is Yulia. I go by Royal Knight BT on Twitch and Twitter. I've also been streaming a lot lately, back into content creating. So that's been a fun thing, and I've been really enjoying that from Final Fantasy and Skyrim and all that good stuff. And I just love my friends so much. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, Yulia's back on my For You page on TikTok. We love
my
to
god,
yeah.
making TikToks again. Oh god. Yes.
I really gotta upgrade I have to update the description not only with Lily's Tumblr, but I also gotta slap in Yulia's TikTok so we reach out to the Zoomers.
Yes, I'm hip with the youth, as they say.
Jiggy with it.
He is in fact jiggy with it. Alright. Next up, my big ass man Maris right here, my big man.
That's me. Hello, everyone. I am Maris. I have been on a streaming hiatus for a hot minute doing real life big boy stuff. But now I have actually been working behind the scenes to return to streaming, including my own campaign. So that'll be fun when that eventually happens in the near-ish future. But until then, I'm happy to be here playing my silly little gay cowboys.
When that game gets up and running, I will show the crap out of it. Everyone has to see it. I'm playing a toxic bird twink, so
Yeah.
I would like people to come see us.
Oh.
And finally, it's me, Sif, your lovely DM and host. I'm Guy. I do art. I do games, and I run D&D, and that's it. My channel is literally like below the video. Just a little click. I stream and stuff, and I have a Twitter. Trying to look into getting off that website. Probably should. But yeah. Thank you all so much for coming by, and we'll go ahead and get started with I know it's been a little while. Do you guys roughly remember what happened last time?
Everyone died.
All our friends died.
Okay, that is a gross like summary of the events in question. I believe they
Is it
had.
wrong though?
I.
Name one that's alive.
God damn! I fucking feel like a college professor being handed Spark Notes. God fucking damn! All right,
Everyone who has ogled Warwick's pecs died. So
Yep.
yeah. Anyways, I wonder how Morgan's
They're
doing.
cursed. They're
yeah.
Dead, probably.
Oh my fucking god. Anyways, last session, we, all of the NPCs that our party had arrived with from the circus had, faced death in both valiant and cowardly ways. Or stupid. Probably stupid. Shoutouts to my man Joe. With, only Fadan being the only guest to have survived the events of the Death House. Upon the conclusion of the Death House itself, as the fog receded, our adventurers had gone out to follow a path laid for them by the fog. Entering into the woods, they were greeted by the sight of him, a regal man with pale skin and piercing red eyes. And immediately upon registering his presence, everyone felt insanely threatened. In response to them taking combat-ready stances, our little menace acted in self-defense, slaying Fadan with power word kill. And we will return to that very moment as Fadan's lifeless body stands upright, impaled by thorny branches erupting from the ground, as the man sitting on the stump looks to read your reactions.
I think Callan would pretty immediately just like go like, whoa, 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 and just kind of like go to hold everybody else back from making any sudden movements. Stay calm. We can talk through this.
What kind of talking do you expect to occur?
The kind that lets us leave alive.
Huh.
By all means, if you wish to talk, go ahead.
Are you referring to the man in front of you, or?
To the party, if they want to be the ones to talk.
I do believe I'm pretty sure last session he said, "I am the ancient, I am the land, I am Strahd."
Yes,
Yeah, he did his little full title thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ravenna is just gonna be like saying like he's just a myth. He's not supposed to be real.
I would say that points to Fadan. What's left of him is real enough.
Yeah, seems pretty real to me.
It shouldn't be possible. He's been killed numerous times in all the stories.
With each statement of Ravanya calling him a myth, and you guys look back, you see him doing a more whimsical activity from the last, from like sipping a floating cup of tea to tuning a violin.
What a dick!
Looking back and forth, yeah.
Let's disbelieve in him. He'll just bail.
Has your shock subsided? The adrenaline fled your body?
I don't exactly think that we've had a moment to be quiet and be contemplative about our situations here for quite some time. So, no, we are always on edge, but we are willing to at least hear you out, so that way we don't end up like our acquaintance there.
Acquaintance. So cold, so harsh, like steel. I believe he had a name. You all called it. You all exchanged
It's-
pleasantries.
I don't think what he was to us matters very much to you, considering that's how you treat live people.
Well, I mean, how do you treat livestock? How do you treat mild entertainment? I acted.
You see Jericho visibly bristles at this.
I knew that word would get to you. Now, as you can tell, Jericho, I do know many a thing. I do like to make sure that my scouts haven't given me false information. He reaches under his little fur mantle and pulls out a form of ledger. As he unclasps it and flips through the pages, you see names whiz by in a myriad of languages. Until he gets to the most up-to-date page. I know this, and you know I know this, but for the sake of pleasantries, could I have your names? There's no trickery, no contract here, I just would like to know what to have written.
Why, so you can just kill us like him?
Well, him and the rest that stayed in that humble abode were, well, the prelude, the prologue to your adventure. You all made it out, so I take it that you will hopefully have more to tell or entertain me than, well, that poor elven boy who ran out into the mist like a coward.
Warwick is taking a step forward.
War.
Callan will actively try and like hold like put a hand on his shoulder and just like kind of give it a tighter grip. Please continue. I'm not saying anything.
Just making sure. Giving you that silence you wish to contemplate with. Well, if we aren't going to do this the direct way, I will simply take guesses. The green one, his chest out, hiding away his flaws, is Warwick. The one who's quite not complete is Ravenna. The one clearly too eager to prove a point is Callan, and finally... your epitaph eludes me. The man with no name, the man with no future, the man with no home. Jericho. Don't worry, your fallen allies will be recorded in here as well, just not by me, as they clearly weren't worth my attention. Now, I take it and he puts the ledger away and sits cross-leggedly, hands on his knees, all like, boy. Now, I take it you have questions, concerns. I do have
Is that all this is while we're here?
well,
For your entertainment?
no, actually. You have come here on a quest to slay me, Strahd von Zernich, great dread lord and ruler of these lands of Barovia. And the reason why, even if you don't intend to want this quest, even though if you don't wish to just kill me, if you wish to just run away, I have some unfortunate news. And he pulls out two things. One, using the branches, he pulls out a deck of Arcana cards. They're the cards that Vidan had, and the other cards of the other fallen allies you guys had. Vidan had been apparently picking them up off of each corpse, realizing their potential importance. And then Strahd himself pulls out a card tucked away at his chest. This card has the World Arcana. The World Arcana is the card symbolizing the end of a journey, the finality, the exit, as it were, from your journey of self-realization. And he looks to you all. If you wish to leave these lands, in whatever shape, way, or form that exit comes through, it'll be through me, through I. Like it or not, your fates have been inexplicably bound to my own. So I suggest that you take every opportunity so that you can assure your exit is ideal as possible. For, as you can see, there's a numerous amount of ways to reach your end. Your friend here impaled, your other friends taken by the mists, ruined by the curses of these lands, its dead spirits, or simply for being too kind and trusting. For I am these very lands. Each gasp of air you take, each ounce of water you drink, each blade of grass you step upon is my mercy, or my morbid curiosity to see how far you all will go. And I am showing you that mercy right now. So if you have any questions or concerns before I get to my main subject, I would be more than happy to address them right now.
Where's my sister?
He raises an eyebrow out of genuine confusion, and he opens the ledger. What was your sister's name?
Ravenia is chewing on her lip at that question.
Trust me, while I take great joy in your discomfort, I take a greater concern in not knowing someone who has entered my lands. I have a glimmer here, but you would have seen what happened to her. Couldn't be your sister. So, who is your sister? If you don't mind my asking. His eyes light up, his lips, his tongue dancing against his lips at the idea of a new plaything.
Ravenia is grimacing, but she feels driven that she has to ask. So, Morgan.
I appreciate your forthcomingness, and I will genuinely look into this. Have my scouts and and higher powers at my beck and call look into this Morgan. But I have no idea who this woman is. I do look forward to finding out myself. And as a thank you for that, I promise you, whether it be through my mouth or another, you will have the information you seek before I even get to playing with it. I can be nice. I was once a true lord of these lands. Are there any other concerns, or shall I just cut to the meat of things?
Ravenia
More
would
of a
just express-
clarification,
Sorry.
really? You brought us all here to kill you? Is that the whole point of this?
I did not bring you here myself. In my time, in my ages of living, various people have found ways into my realm. Most recently and notably with these strange cards. Do not know when this showed up, I merely woke up with one on my chest. Had some digging, but that's all I know about the cards, is that they tie you to myself. People come, and they challenge me fruitlessly as it is, and what is there for me to do? Am I supposed to keep swatting flies? Am I not entitled some entertainment? Some chance to you? If you wish, I could cut things short right now. end it all, but that wouldn't be quite as fun.
No. I don't believe that that would be necessary.
Again, to the point of things. Sorry, my jolly green giant, you will have to put up and fend for yourselves in these lands, if not for my entertainment, then for your own survival. And again, the only way out, taps on his chest where the card is through me. So, any other concerns?
Not so much a concern. Also, a bit of friendly banter, as you seem so willing to give.
By all means, banter away.
Whether it be by myself and with my companions, or with the aid of the legions I'm sure you know of, we will kill you. It's just as simple as that. Even if you strike me down, I know the Citadel has had their eyes on this place for a while. They will kill you. It's just a matter of time.
My dear, if I am not aware of the Citadel, it is because one of my many forces at play have assured me the comfort of not being aware of your nation, kingdom, army from the looks of it. But do be aware that if your people were to come, why, I didn't earn my throne through kindness and words. I won it through bloodshed and domination. And I haven't had a good conquest in quite some time. And judging from how out of sorts you are alone here, imagine panicked masses.
You think yourself on the same level as a god?
Well, he just looks at you like, shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know what you want to tell you. Have you seen the shit I can do?
I highly doubt it.
Still though, you've recognized my danger, my hazard to you all, right?
Oh yes, very aware.
Then I come to all of you with a deal. And he snaps his fingers, and rising out from the dark, from your shadows, are 4 individual contracts. Gay ass. Read through it. Look for any loopholes, but I promise you, my deal is straightforward. While you remain in my lands, I will not kill you. I will not hunt you down, and your story will not end. You are free to travel and go as you please without fear of myself or the land itself killing you, ending your story. I make no promises on the behalf of my men, my forces, or the inhabitants of these lands. I have given them their own freedoms, and should they choose to exercise said freedom by killing you, I must respect it. But I, myself, will not. I will not lie. I will not cheat. I wish to be entertained. There is no fun in a rigged game. There are 2 catches to this promise. The first catch, is that the moment you find yourselves ready to come for me, the moment you make an attempt on my life, all holds barred. Everything off the table, fair game. I will fight back. And remember, I am not only Strahd von Zarevich, I am the land itself. So, before you decide it's time to kill me, think it over very, very carefully. And second, the other catch, is that I am free to enter any building or any abode you all inhabit. without need of asking for permission. This second one is less so a threat and more so an annoyance. On your halves, at least.
Oh, no. No. What makes you think that I value my life so much as to sign this worthless piece of paper for you?
Well, there's a few caveats, one such being as I'd prefer it if you all took care of yourselves, including the three next to you, Jericho. If one of you does not sign this contract, though, none of you can. And, I mean... I wonder how much 3 more souls would add onto that conscience of yours. 3 more younglings with a bright future ahead of them, dashed away by an old man willing to throw away his own.
I don't know what you presume to know about any of us. But letting a being such as yourself have free reign to go into any building that we occupy, paper or not, promise or not, that is suicide.
The I will not
Guarantee
kill you.
our-
Oh,
Wait,
go ahead.
said, you may guarantee our safety, but what about the people we meet? Have the people of your lands, have they signed this contract too? Will we know that they'll be safe?
No, I rarely interact with the locals. My forces, my men, take care of that for me. I have no interest in playing with the pieces that are always in my box. You know that, right? And as he stops crossing his knees and, a rock floats up from the ground and he just perches his head and hands on it, looking at you like a bored child. I have no interest in breaking them. And should you find any brave enough to join you in your challenge against me, I will make them the same offer. The reason why that second caveat is in, the reason why it's an annoyance, is simply because in your most painful and traumatizing of moments or in your day-to-day life, I wish to simply be in your den, feet up on a nice piece of furniture, snacking on something very loudly.
So we sign this. You promise not to hurt us, but we give you permission to come and taunt us at your leisure. Is that the gist of it?
Exactly. The handsome Jack to your borderlands. Can't believe I made that canon as a
I
story.
believe Strahd dropped that to us.
He's seen many adventurers from many realms. He can quote whatever he wants.
Well, thankfully, none of
I
us
don't
know
get
what the
it.
fuck he's talking.
There is some literature in the first town. Go read it. I need you to.
Oh man, there's a lot of swearing in this story.
I heard there's a movie coming out. No?
Yeah,
We're not sponsored by Gearbox, but if they'd like to pay
it's
us.
not a true story. Curse of Strahd Borderlands edition.
Oh my god. Tiny Tina's Gearbox, but yeah. Simply to bother you. I will not intrude, and this chaos goes both ways. As Strahd unbuttons the brooch on his jacket and opens it up, you see a seal over his chest. If I violate this contract in any ways, a subsequent punishment of equal weight will be done to me. Same as to all of you. Whereas stopping me from entering your home may result in a slight burning or a slight punishment, nothing to kill you, mind you, again, that's not the goal. If I harm any of you in any way, a equal amount of harm will be inflicted on me, proportionately, of course. I know a paper cut is nothing to me, but if I were to, let's say, kill Warwick, I would find my chest probably staked by magic.
But you would still be alive.
It would not be... I wouldn't come back whole. If I violate a contract, a violation lasts until, well, the story's complete. I'd rather not get into the nitty-gritty of things, but I have no interest in violating this contract in any way, shape, or form. I have been honest and forthcoming, and have made my peace, and he will again go back to sitting up, sitting back, stones lifted, floating up in the air to hold up his feet, and he just leans back and leisure stuff, full leisure pose.
If you have no interest in violating this contract that you've concocted, then there's no purpose in having it in the first place, save for you to waltz about wherever we are, taunting us, as you said. But frankly, you can do that anyway, without being in a room with us. Is that really all this is about? Just to annoy us?
I don't want to miss much.
He does say, well, I think we've learned from our acquaintance Vadan here that he could very easily kill us with the snap of his fingers. If we are to believe that he can do that again, well, this is the only way that we can avoid.
No,
Such a
he
fate
won't.
for
He
now.
won't do it so long as we are entertaining. We don't need a piece of paper for that.
I want to agree with Jericho, but I mean, he just said it was his land, contract or not. Doesn't seem like we have much of a choice.
Considered insurance if, let's say, rocks fell and everyone died. They would be my rocks. And as such, I would be very interested in making sure they didn't kill you. And also, don't you mortals find contracts some form of safety? I think you're getting the bigger deal out of this.
I can't help but agree with his sentiment there, much as it might pain me to say so. This gig isn't about pride, it's about survival. Now, Jericho, I can surmise that, given what you said before and your interactions here, that it's taking everything you can just not to just leap at him and stake his heart right now.
An astute observation.
A what?
But a clever observation.
Mm-mm.
But I'm not here to kill Strahd. I'm here to get the hell out. And a promise from the man himself that he will not be the one to kill me seems like a good place to start. I'm willing to sign.
You're simply trying to find a way out, was it? Callan?
That's correct.
Then how about if I sweeten the deal? Any and all clauses, any and all effects that happen to you, anything that is between you and I, will fade away the moment you leave these realms. If you somehow manage to find a way to leave that doesn't involve my fate.
Perfect. I was already willing to agree to the conditions, but now you've just made it better.
You cannot be serious.
Willing to listen to you, but seems pretty cut and dry to me.
We cannot trust a single thing out of this monster's mouth.
Is it because I'm a blood-sucking creature of the night? Because that's very prejudiced, young Jericho.
I have a lot of reason for my prejudice.
Can
You and
I
the rest of
take-
your kind.
Can I like take a look at the? I don't know if he's still waving around his deep V like a slut, but
He wouldn't
can
have
I-
buttoned up at this point. But if you if you want to say like do a perception check before he buttons it up, like we can see you did that while
Perception,
talking.
yeah, perception or arcana, just to kind of judge how true the word. I know this is a little, what I'm literally laying on the word. It's the moment is already passed, but just like to try to gauge the truth of the words of that there is an equal pact in how powerful it
You
is.
could
on
do
him.
insight too, since I know your like wisdom score is also pretty good. You could do insight or perception, but I will.
Okay.
I'll say you're too far away to get a proper enough look at the glyphs to say that see if it's Arcana.
Got it. All right, we are rolling in social situations. Not
That one.
Oh no!
I trust this man.
This contract.
I trust this man with my life, Lily.
I mean, she kind of does.
Yeah,
At least
literally.
in this situation.
I agree with Jericho as the expert in such creatures. From the Count's own words, this is all simply an illusory deal. If he chooses to kill us, he will still survive, albeit at least momentarily inconvenienced.
I did
It
not
puts
say.
us in the same position now as if we did not sign it at all.
I did not say momentarily inconvenienced. If I kill one of you, the negative impact will last until the journey is over. If I kill Warwick, I could permanently lose something I would need should the rest of you come attack me. And if I kill all of you, well, that'll add up. And whilst I am curious to see how one would kill me, I am not keen at finding it out the irony of my own word. You don't have to sign the contract. You are free to come and go. I will not kill you. As of this moment, but I cannot make that promise come the next day, the next hour, the next minute. Fickle as a cat, I'm afraid.
We've seen how strong he is, guys. I don't want to take the chance of losing you.
And Ravenia, if he does in fact offer a way to be reunited with your sister, better to have him on at least more positive terms than if not.
I'm aware it's just such a poisoned chalice at its core. He can never be trusted. Every story ends with his... Well, it ends with him.
How about this? You are very indecisive for people who just saw their friend die. I will give you all an undisclosed period of time where this contract is null and void. You haven't signed it, won't work. Think it over. See the lands, see its people, see its misery. And when you feel ready, at our next meeting, or not our next meeting, because I feel like I'm going to show up pretty soon to mess with all of you, but I'll come forward with the offer, let's say, when it feels appropriate. See things, understand the dangers, and I will reappear. Okay?
So
Would you
we-
mind? Would you mind unstaking our friend?
I mean, the branches unwind, and Strahd just looks confused, like, no matter how you bury or christen him, his body will be returning to my land. But if it affords you any clear conscience on your behalves, so be it. Regardless, I have grown weary of these conversations. I will leave you to which... Actually, you don't have any directions now, do you?
And you're
Yeah.
planning on giving us some? Is that it?
From the house, did you see any lights? A town in the distance?
Didn't we see a map inside the house that showed like a town or something?
Yes, there is a town not too far off. Literally, like, right through the forest, there is a town known as Barovia.
That's the name of the town? I thought that was the name of the plane.
Barovia.
No. It is also
Barovia,
the...
Barovia.
Wow,
I will-
original Strahd, okay.
He spent all of his time making up titles for himself, not naming cities.
It is called the village of Barovia, alright? I don't know how to, like...
It's
yes.
the Manhattan of Barovia.
Oh, just
Strahd von Barovia of Barovia.
wait till you see it. Oh, I can tell you guys also took the map with you. Since
Sure.
Yeah.
New York City.
I got my New York City out with Eberron, don't you worry, Obs. We are whale punk London now, alright.
Cheerio. I'm so hard not to just say with the aptly named Barovia.
I'll leave you all to find your way to your next landmark? Objective? It feels weird. Regardless. Just keep in mind, I will offer this contract again, maybe with more interesting terms. But yes, before I leave you all to the shadows, is there any last words you'd like to share with me?
Count your days, Strahd.
I am a count.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Da 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 da.
He's a little stinker.
Warwick blinks like, what?
Just one last thing. And his eyes glisten in the moonlight, the red sheening brighter than before, and then all of you feel it momentarily. The air around you stagnates and freezes. The trees themselves seem to bend in the wind towards you in a menacing manner. He takes a step towards you, and it looks as though the grass itself splits apart for his footsteps. The same grass that you feel along your feet, almost as if it was holding you down. Walks up, holding the deck of tarot cards. Initially, he strides up to Callan, looking her over, and goes, "A little too eager for this responsibility. More likely that you'll mess up." And he turns to Warwick, and then, while you guys are stuck, frozen, he slides the deck of cards in the little collar part of Warwick's armor. Take good care of that. If you find any willing to challenge me, they'll need it. And then he looks at Ravinia and goes, Morgan, I will not forget, trust me." Then he backpedals and then turns on his heel to Jericho. "And don't forget, I'll always be watching. So don't bore me." And he pats Jericho on the head before breaking into a swarm of bats flying past all of you into the dead of night. And that freezing fear that encapsulated all of you melts away, as it feels like the land itself isn't trying to kill you. The fog still remains at the sides, and the path continues deeper into the woods, and if that map is to be believed, there is a town called the village of Barovia, Barovia, down the road.
I think during that time too, when Strahd was next to work and slipped the cards in, his like muscles were flexing to the point where like the veins were like pretty visible. So when he's able to move again, it's like mid-swing, where he was attempting to punch him.
Cold clocks Jericho.
Oh no!
But he ends up just swinging at the air.
What an awful man.
Truly disgusting.
And yet you were going to deal with him. Makes a pointed glance at Callan.
I was. Yet somehow you managed to get an even better deal out of him.
Dealin's got nothing to do with it. I do not care what he's got to offer.
If next we meet, would you be satisfied to end up like our friend here?
I'd rather that than a vampire's toy.
I think we're going to be his toy whether we want to or not. It's not exactly a matter of if, it's more of a matter of when. And I would like to explore and find a way out of this hellhole, unimpeded by potential death.
Death is coming regardless of that paper or not.
Seems so eager to meet it.
Well, maybe we can find a compromise. Maybe we can find a way to defeat him before he shows up again.
I do admire your optimism, work, but loath as I am to admit it, I don't think that's possible. I have been hunting these creatures for decades, and I've never frozen like that.
But you do know how to kill him, right? At least regular vampires?
Oh, yes.
If it provides any solace, Jericho, the likely reason that you were put in such a difficult position here, as opposed to in any of your other hunts, is the particular relationship he has with this pocket plane, demi-plane, whatever you choose to call it. As an expression tied to him, it likely has a more dramatic effect on you than wherever you originally come from.
Perhaps. Just means he's all the more dangerous. And I'm not about to take him at its word. If we don't find a way out of here, once he tires of us, that's the end of it.
Okay, that's another good option. Just we'll go to the town to try to see if maybe we can find a way out.
We did learn something very valuable from that whole exchange, though.
Mhm.
While he claims to have such an intimate relation to this form of reality, he's not omniscient within it. He clearly does not see all that occurs, and he relies on more overt methods to potentially gain that information. He did not know where my sister was, or even who she was here. I think that is a telling note that while he may be powerful here, he cannot see everything that we do.
I'm not the one to also give false hope unnecessarily. But either what you're saying is correct, or your sister may not even be here and escaped this fate.
One thing I believe to be sure is that at least I have surmised from what we've just experienced, is that these tarot cards, she'll pull out the Justice card, are not something that he can control. After all, he said he did not bring us here. They brought us here. At least, that's what I feel like we can infer. So, a good place to start, then, would be to find these tarot readers, if they are here, as they seem to have more control over this plane than anyone else. Other than Strahd, of course.
Did any of your fortune tellers give you anything aside from the card itself? Any tasks, quests, missions?
Nothing explicit, aside from the thing to be expected of most casters engaging in divination and providing vague illusions as to potential causalities.
I was convinced mine was trying to kill me for the majority of the session, so...
Oh, mine gave me some cookies.
Mine gave me a rescue mission.
Rescue who?
2 people close to her. I told her that odds are they're already dead. Now I'm convinced.
But still, if they are known to this fortune teller, then they would be our best lead to the fortune tellers. Whether they are dead or not, seems to be the best lead we have. So, when we get to this town, make an inquiry. Start there. Does that sound agreeable?
Seems logical. But first, if you don't mind, I'd like
Oh.
to give Fidan at least some shred of dignity.
By all means.
Yeah, I can help with that if you like.
Thank you. You see, Jericho at this point, he will try to, like, dig a grave. You can see the words that Strahd left, that it doesn't matter if they bury him, he's still his. It's very much bothering him, but he doesn't know what else to do, so he's just going through the motions, trying to give Fidan some proper burial rites.
Question, Sif.
Yeah, what's up?
So, number one, I was just scrolling back and looking at pictures of the dead NPCs, and um, did Joe have a feathery cloak?
Uh,
I'm just looking at the cloak
it's
drawing.
it's more meant to be like rags, but
Okay.
I'm willing to change that if you are cooking something.
Oh, I wanted to know if there were feathers available because it's relevant to Ravenna for burial rites.
I will say, how about that total Raven Queen Paladin corpse that you guys came across had feathers on her, and
Okay.
you would have picked it up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then when we're doing the burial process, Ravenna will put 2 of the raven's feathers on him and pray that his spirit, flies to his god as quickly as it can with as much safety as possible away from this place.
Callan will walk up to Jericho and just kind of say, I'm gathering that at least our rights vary greatly from, well, all of yours here. But I wanted to at least offer a sort of, well, cremation. If that would make you feel better. Not leaving him in the land.
I appreciate that. But whether he's ashes or flesh, he'll still be feet in the ground.
Just wanted to offer. Please. Continue.
Well,
Thank you.
I mean, like with the others, unfortunately, I have my flower seeds here. I mean, Strahd doesn't own that. So, I'm gonna add them to the land and make something new out of it.
Then you'll put a
Eating
hand on
Strahd, huh?
Ravenna put a hand on Warwick's shoulder and be like, he did say that his beliefs were related to oases, and I think that he would appreciate the new life coming from him.
Yeah, I think so too. And he'll kneel down before it and go ahead and plant his little seeds and use his little water to start it up.
Yeah. The burial process goes through, and to the best of your abilities, you make sure that Fiden is buried with some respect. And with that, would you all like to continue down to the village of Barovia?
Yes, we would like to go to Barovia.
Let's go. Barovia, it's a hell of a town. Alright. Easy enough, you guys can make your way out of the woods, and once you finally exit the forest, you can fully take in the surroundings. There is no fog covering up the grass and plant life around you. No trees to block your view either. In the distance you see what seems to be a humble and small village. As you approach the town, you begin to make note of its more decrepit features. No buildings of stone or metal, no watchtowers, no walls, no sentries. Bits of abandoned farm property linger outside of the town itself. And as you enter the town, you are greeted with a very, very unwelcoming environment. Go ahead and put this image up. Let me know if you guys should all be on a new page now. Let me know if that is
Yeah.
the case. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You all enter the village of Barovia. It's a very humble village. As you enter it, you can see the silhouettes of the villagers and people of villagers and animals from the shadows looking at you, quickly entering in their abodes or peering at you through boarded up windows. And then it begins to rain. There is no fanfare to welcome you into this village. You guys want to walk around for a bit, or do you have any initial reactions to this shithole?
Did you say that we could see any people, though? Just like...
It's like that, like, when the protagonist rolls into a town and then people were like, oh fuck, get inside, get inside. Like,
yeah, but with the shutters closing.
Yeah. If you want to, like, get a good look at the people, you can roll a perception check if you want to, like, make out any
I will
identifying
make
features.
an attempt.
Yeah, let's try.
You can certainly try.
I tried.
11?
I don't see nothing.
Let me.
I
I'm gonna
participated.
redeem myself. I'm gonna redeem myself.
All
It's
right,
not gonna be an
come on,
outlaw.
Lily, come on, Lily, let's go,
Let's
Lily.
make up that
We're
one.
all rolling.
17.
Hey.
Alright, hey, real quick, does Yulia want to try? Toss me out,
You
Lily?
know, everyone else did it. I'll do it too.
Come on, pass it around, everybody gets a turn on the perception.
Oh no!
That one.
You know, Warwick, just for you, you see a little piglet hobble across the street and, like, oink,
Aw.
seeing you, then rush off into the shadows.
It's very distracting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warwick, no, I already said Warwick, Jericho. You try to get a really good glance at these people, but almost like instinctively, they are doing a very good job of trying to stay out of your gaze. As for Ravenna and Callan, you can both make out these people and their fashion, which is very archaic. Their clothes, the clothing either seems to be like really poorly handmade or really, really worn hand-me-downs. Some people are dressed in like the decaying fabrics of like what could be considered noble and more historic societies. And some people are wearing much more durable clothing, but is very clearly just sewn together fabric that they've had around the town. And Callan, off your 17, you pick up on this immediately, probably because you see it in the mirror yourself, but these people, you being from the Citadel know to look out for physical features and traits to denote what kind of species or race you're fighting against. All of these people, whilst not showing any elemental or elven traits, or maybe some do, it varies, some pure dwarvish. I'm trying here, okay? They're all blue. They're all of them blue. Not a single one has a different color on them. It doesn't matter if they're if some have long beards, some may have strange horns coming out or jewelry denoting a different culture, but they're all blue. Maybe a darker or lighter shade here and there, but they're all blue. And you pick up on this immediately because, well, you look in the mirror, you know what to look out for.
You know what blue is?
Yeah. Gotta represent.
Die.
Yeah. It is at this point that all of you, except poor Warwick, alas, poor Warwick, notice a bit of a, I wouldn't say mist, like a smoke rising up from the floor, coming from the direction of an alleyway 2 buildings down. And a figure comes around the corner, wielding a sort of thuribil. You guys know what a thuribil is, right? It's like a lantern with incense coming out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the very smoke from that incense is heavy. It wafts down to the floor. And you are greeted by this scarved, hooded figure wearing an armored corset, locks flowing down from her hair, dark skin and luscious lips parting,
Yo.
greeting you. Yes, I'm gonna see if I can show this to you guys. I could be able to. No, I fucking roll 20's being weird. Here, I'm just, yeah, there we go. I'll just put it out like that. There you go. This is still a sketch at the moment, but you are greeted by this lovely figure here.
Damn, she hot.
Mm-hmm. Her eyes, despite her acknowledgement of your presence and her looking in your direction, her eyes are in fact blindfolded. She is going to approach you guys. Is there any initial, like, hey, don't come at us, lady?
Apparently, she don't see she's coming, so.
Well, yeah.
You're very interested in that piglet.
I am very interested in the livestock and wildlife here.
Just because I know what you were working on for this lady could.
Yeah.
Ravenia's familiarity with beings like that do like an Arcana check or something.
Yeah, you can do an Arcana check. You can immediately pick up on some sort of fey magic emanating from her.
I got an 8, so.
Man, we can't roll today.
Oh, don't worry. Your DC is noticeably lower, so don't worry. You can tell that even though she is not of your plane, she is some variety of hag. You're not sure what court she could represent or what aspect of the Feywild she hails from, but she is in fact a hag. And for all of you watching at home, hags in my games are hot older women. Fuck you.
Let's go.
That's the Twitter definition.
I cooked this up before hag took off. All right.
I know. I'm still
this.
affronted that they've rebranded MILFs as hags.
Yeah, and they consider hags to be 30-somethings.
Yeah.
Anyways, hot 40 to 60-year-old woman. Plus, I don't know. Anyways, she greets all of you, her beautiful ruby red lips parting in the rain. I apologize for the lack of fanfare upon your arrival. I take it you are Strahd's latest guests?
This sort of thing happen often then?
I take it you saw his ledger.
He did describe it to us, yes.
My name is Madame Reyna, and I am the hag presiding over the village of Barovia, Barovia. I am somewhat of a caretaker of this town's people's health, and I have a vetted interest in your survival and adventure. Will that suffice for now?
Ravenia will switch to Sylvan and say, is it normal for hags to be given domain over towns here?
Oh, this is funny. Ravenia, this hag, if she had eyebrows, would raise them. She did not understand what you said.
Oh, damn.
This hag is out of contact with her people. It's like you're a first generation American and then your aunt speaks to you in like your home language and you're like, huh?
I hope that she does the Sylvan equivalent of Spanglish.
Starts speaking in broken Elven, hoping it sends. No, she looks at you with a bit of a frown, and I take it that was Sylvan? You aren't the
Sure.
first guests to try speaking that with me.
She'll switch back to common then and go, my apologies. I had made an assumption that is clearly incorrect.
It's fine. These are strange lands for you, and you will meet many strange people while you are here. Now, please, if you would all like to come with me out of the rain to my little abode.
Even though I'm really bad at it, I still want to do an insight check on this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jericho, your hand is on your fucking... I take it your hand is on your gun at, like, anytime you meet someone
like,
new.
pretty much. Like, always on edge. That's a 12.
Off a 12. She has plans for you, at the abode. You're not sure what. She does, like... You're kind of noticing the same beats as, like, Strahd wanted to make a deal with you. She's probably doing the same thing, but she is honest in how she is invested in your well-being and does not wish to harm you. Is there anything else you wanted to know off that 12?
No, just, generally mistrusting of literally everyone and everything, so,
Man, I can't wait to finally give you a trustworthy NPC and then take them away.
No!
It's
You
okay.
say, well, you're already doing better than the other person we met from this plane who killed one of our acquaintances on sight.
That the standard now? Oh, we're
Very
just-
low bar.
The bar is in hell.
That's the standard that's been set, baby.
I appreciate the candidness of what you've shared with me, but do be aware there are fates people are willing to dole out here that are worse than death. And with that, she'll lead you to a little hut that's on the outskirts of the town, kind of back the way you came. And you can all enter in. There's plenty enough room. It's sort of like a witch doctor's hut, but a little large. Assuming you want to enter. Sorry.
Before we enter, I'd
yeah.
like to gather the party around and have some whispered conversation.
Yeah, she does not turn around while leading you guys. Go for it.
Yeah. For what it's worth, while she is not quite like the Fae of my own plane, if she has any similarities with them, then there are certain rules of conduct that she would have to abide by. One of which would be that she cannot lie to us as long as we do not lie to her. Take that for what it's worth.
That is an awfully useful rule.
It's a part of their... the fabric of their being. Assuming-
What constitutes as a lie? If you negate certain truths, is that considered a lie?
Ravenia will hold up a fingernail and be like, and that is the devil in the details. That is where they like to operate. Once again, for what it's worth.
Well, as everybody here seems to like to point out, I'm very straightforward, so I don't think that will be a difficult thing for me.
I mean, like you said, she didn't kill anyone in front of us, so it's definitely a good start.
In front of you. Sorry.
In front of us, I'm making that point. In front of us, so at least we can hear her out, and if not, it's all of us against her.
And it hardly seems like this is the first time she's encountered other trapped persons.
Hags do tend to be more malicious in their sentiments, but not necessarily as outright predatory before getting the lay of the land. I would at least caution that she could be one of his servants, and of course, even though we are not under any particular contract obligations, they would still be exempted from it in the first place. So, I imagine this wouldn't be too much of a stretch for you, Jericho, but be on your guard.
That's my secret, Cap.
I'm always paranoid. So
And-
that's my little Fey debrief for the party.
little Fey debrief while you're walking to her
Yep.
little hut.
And Venny will just muse, I wonder what court she descends from.
Can't even speak Sylvan.
Yes, that's an alarming thing for her, because that's very bizarre.
Mm-hmm. As you all enter her hut, it's strewn with various ingredients and ongoing potion brewings from different different glassware, which I will not list, otherwise I will out my chemistry degree.
Bunsen burners, Erlenmeyer flasks.
That's not glassware, but it's green.
They make random chemistry things I know.
You cook it.
Erlenmeyer flasks.
You brew it a round bottom. Okay. So yeah, you enter the abode, immediately greeted by various smells. It's kind of overwhelming, like you're entering in like a spice market or like a very ethnic part of the like restaurant neighborhood. As you all enter, she stands behind her traditional witch's cauldron and looks at all of you. As I said before, your well-being is of great import to me, so I have some gifts I would like to relinquish to you all. And she dips her arms into the cauldron and pulls out various forms of containers, we'll say. If you guys had like, you guys know water skins, right? But like,
Yeah.
you're all from different settings, so your water skins can be different. What would like a character have? Right? Like imagine for Jericho like a flask for booze, yeah. Yeah, feel free to describe each of that. Whenever. Who
Oh
wants to
no,
go
that
first?
was literally about what I was gonna say. He's got a flask in his coat pocket.
But if you were to get a flask, you know.
Yeah, but Barovia would probably have canteen. Like
Mhm.
that would be very much on par with her tech level. Is like metal canteens.
Yeah, a metal canteen, any like leather wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, with some like
Yeah.
fey engravings, etc.
Sure.
What would Callan drink out of?
Kind of hard because, you know, she's a being of water. But
You eat and drink,
Um,
right?
yeah, she
She's got a
does.
Stanley Cup. We know it.
Yeah, Stanley Cup. With
'Cause
the
she's
lead,
just such a
very
champ.
important. No, I imagine she probably has like similarly like a canteen, but there's like gems and such imbued into it.
Mm-hmm. And Wark? Big man Wark? What is...
Yeah, he's had his little water skin taken out a couple of times when he's been planting, but you know, it very stereotypical medieval, like leather strapped, you know, fur lined water skin. As simple as it gets.
You find amongst the containers that she pulls out various ones that are shockingly similar to the ones from, we'll say, your settings, right? Like, so for Jericho, it is a pure stainless steel alcohol flask. It's got a rigid cap on top that swings off, that you can unscrew off. I'm assuming you're going to just pick up and play with it. Ravenna, you see a very simple looking canteen with a strap, so you can hold it around you like a purse. Warwick, you see a canister for you. Callan, you see a very, like, bedazzled canteen for yourself as well, and the make of it looks to be more modern, like plastic or carbon fiber, instead of metal. And if you guys pick up any of these containers, or if you'd ever like to re-flavor text them, feel free to. There is liquid sloshing inside.
Liquid sloshing.
The hag in front of you, noticing your like confusion, takes a similar flask, similar off vibes and Arcana. She takes it off of her side, and then she cuts up her arm with one of her nails. She then proceeds to drink from her filter, and you see the wound begin to heal. I'm going to quickly type this out into homebrew rules. These are potions of healing. I don't have a proper name for them yet, because everything that comes into my head for refillable potions reminds me of Dark Souls, and I don't want to call these Estus flasks. So, potions of healing, refillable.
Our bestest flasks. Our Wish.com equivalents.
So these potions and she'll explain this to you in her lovely sultry voice that I can't put on. These potions contain 3 charges. You guys can use your swift actions that we kind of like touched upon before campaign and a little bit here and there to use them to heal yourselves. And currently it is just 2d4 plus 2 HP. Currently, it's a standard common healing potion. I'm giving these to you guys because I don't want you guys to have to worry about buying health potions every time you're back in your main town. And also so I don't have to worry about budgeting for your rewards to include that.
So did they like reset every day or something?
Yep, every dawn. That's like the official ruling I have on these. Obviously, Barovia doesn't have an obvious dawn, but they will refill after
Gotcha.
the equivalent of dawn happens. They currently have 3 charges. It's 2d4 plus 2 healing. These are maybe subject to change because I haven't properly used them yet, outside of one shots. So I have to see what they do in a longer term thing. As a concern, like right away, I do have scalings written out for levels at certain points or certain milestones. So don't worry, you guys are not stuck with 2d4 plus 2 healing at like level 10. But yeah. Any questions on the healing potions?
No, I think I get the gist.
Alright, cool. If any of you like beautiful, genius queer people come up with a better name, let me know. Playing with a few ideas. She parches her. She. What's the word or sound for it when you like take a good drink of something and you go?
I don't know if there's like an onomatopoeia for that or.
Damn. All right. Well, you guys
Quenches
get
her thirst.
Yeah,
Slake
she
her
quaffed.
thirst.
quenches your
potion.
thirst. It's the quenchiest. From her demonstration, you guys can tell that these potions are purely to heal, and hopefully, assuming so no one's paranoia is acting up, she drank it herself, so you guys know that it is purely healing. There is no negative connotation. These are.
Warwick will be the first to go over and grab his particular one.
Feel free to flavor text it however you want. If you want like a little sippy cup.
A little straw that goes.
Little bendy straw.
Little bendy straw. It's like one of those curved ones. It's like the plastic
Spiral
swirly
straw.
ones.
Oh, a silly straw, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, these are a gift. I am aware of the nature of my people, but I seek no deal, no pact, no contract. I only have a favor to ask. Are you familiar with the title of Burgomaster? The Burgomaster of this town is in need of aid. He is of great importance to me, so please assist him with this task. That is all I wish to ask of you.
So, you want us to just to hear out what he has to say?
Yes. I take it from how none of you immediately faced me with violence or threatened me that you are hopefully good-natured people. Good-natured people often help those in need, yes?
Often. But it seems here that is a bit of a liability.
I'm still young and naive myself as a hag, but I'd like to believe that kindness will win through. Regardless, please at least hear him out. And one final thing of note. While I myself am a hag, I share no alliances or friendships with others. Do not hold back on any other hags should they upset you.
No love for your people, then.
It's something I find many who travel here can say.
Overall, there doesn't seem to be much love lost for fellow men all around. The whole town seemed to recoil in our presence. Why? Wouldn't they welcome outside assistance?
As one who herself is considered an outsider by them, I shouldn't be the one to answer this question. But the Burgomaster, he would be more than happy to enlighten you all with the history of this town. You'll find him at the largest building in the town, a rundown manor. His name is Ismark Kolyanovich. On regards to names, I should give you mine as well. I believe names have some power in the Fae. My name is Madame Rena. It's R-E-N-A, in case my pronunciation fucked up.
Madame Reyna.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Now, is there anything else I can address for you all?
Did you take his deal?
No. I was born in these lands. No deal had to be made. But every other adventurer I've met has taken his deal. At some point or another. And while he makes it clear what the main goals of the contract are, even though there's usually very minor clauses simply to aid in his entertainment. It won't set you back, but you may find that you are not always at what you think could be your lowest.
Thank you for that. That's. I don't know if that's hopeful, but the start. Do you? You said you've met a lot of people coming in and out of here, right? Any of them fancy some tarot card reading?
Oh, you also carry the cards. I've met others who do, yes, but when they reached the end of their journeys, the cards would always leave. I don't know how to describe it better than that. I myself have never seen them leave or seen a person's journey finish in these lands, but I know Strahd always expresses great interest in managing to hold them down, but he's been unable to.
Has there been any kind of talk of him keeping people alive? Prisoners, captives?
Out here, I don't get much news, but I know recently his forces have been gathering more than just entertainment. I don't know why they would be amassing so many more people. It seems counterintuitive to Barovia's isolationism. I wish I could offer more.
So no one's gotten close then, I take it. Considering he's, well, alive.
I don't know. I've not been to his castle, and I have not seen the full journeys of those who've come before you. But I take it others have. And even in their failures, they would have left tools that you could use to your advantage. Knowledge that would serve to assist you on your journey. You'll end up going there eventually, but there is a town further into Barovia called Vallaki. That is Vallaki. And the burgomaster of that town makes his allegiances against Strahd very clear. If you were to find any tools or any past adventurers who have wandered into these lands, it would most likely start there.
Yeah, that would be great. Do you mind marking it on our map here?
Of course. And she takes out her lipstick and marks down Barovia.
I was about to say, did she get a smooch our map?
Mwah.
How extra is everyone in this plane?
This plane is
Fun
full of
somehow.
extra.
He is gonna be out as she's like taking the map and like marking it, going to be like looking at her blindfold, being like, how? And kind of like discreetly try to wave his hand.
It's the nature of my people in this realm. We are born with certain gifts, and other kindnesses are taken away from us. We can't have children in a normal way, for instance. So I've marked in red the
wait.
area.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Hey, yo. Warwick looking at breeding arc.
I appreciate your curiosity, but
That's not what I meant. He like.
I
That's what-
am not entirely comfortable with disclosing certain details like that, but
No, I understand. I'll shut up.
it's no different from how some are born with the ability to fly and some are not. Some can cast magic and others simply have to rely on the tools that lie before them. My eyes, my sight is one such thing.
Barovian people come from eggs. Okay.
Like the gift.
I should clarify that. Did you see any of the townspeople on your way in?
Barely. I mean, they kind of hid away from us as we
They-
entered.
They had similar skin to mine.
Good eye, but do not count them as one of your people. All those who are born in Barovia, they lack most of those, I should say, and there are exceptions such as, well, Ismark, I guess, but most who are born in Barovia are born of its land. So whatever birthing process their people would normally go through still happens, but everyone from here originates from these lands. In your respective religions, what happens when someone perishes? What happens to their soul?
The soul is transported through the void to the goddess of death.
Any other takes?
That entirely depends on how you chose to live your life.
Everyone just kind of returns to the earth and grows from there.
Everyone turns to ash and returns to the Master Jin.
Have you all noticed the pattern that your souls would return to something or go somewhere?
Yes, it's a part of the eternal cycle.
Now, what do you think would happen in a plane with no exits or entrances? Where do you think a soul would go if they died in Barovia?
Probably nowhere. I
Exactly.
imagine.
Stuck in a constant loop. Yet, despite a lack of souls, life demands continuance. Abundance must be reached. Those you see with blue skins, they lack a soul. Not to say they lack heart, lack a sense of being, but their blue skin is simply a side effect of their lack of a soul. Their inability to commune with the divine, their inability to access certain magical capabilities. They simply are missing a key element to all of that. that comes out in their blue skin. Madam Callan, I am sure your hair will be a... Despite your blue skin, your hair will be a giveaway for them. Still. Obviously, however, I said there were exceptions, and there are still souls that circulate in Barovia. Freely, whether or not of Strahd's wishes. Ismark will tell you of a rather important one, but if their skin is not blue, there's a good chance that they'll have their soul.
You say that you're born here. We do not come from this place, obviously, but I know in my homeland there are stories of Strahd's death. How is that possible that this place still exists?
Well, I guess this wouldn't be the first time I've heard of it, but I've always had theories, thoughts. Strahd controls who gets to leave and who gets to come. It's very possible he sends out messengers to describe these journeys he has. Tales. Might even view them as his gifts to the other planes for their tribute as she looks at all of you.
There seems to be, my world excluded, a lot of knowledge leaving Barovia. People know about this Strahd character. But he isn't leaving, is he?
No. Despite what some of the villagers may tell you, Strahd himself cannot leave these lands. It's the nature of what happened to him.
So he's trapped here just as much as any of us are.
Yes. It's entirely why he values these little snippets of the outside realms. Now, these things I've told you, they're all from what little information I have and what thoughts I can put together. But keep in mind, you'll hear various things from different people. Most of the townsfolk, most of the regular day-to-day people in Barovia still believe Strahd is the devil himself. Which, I'll assure you that itself is not true.
Sounds like we have a lot of learning to do, amongst many things.
Regardless, I've done all I can. I'll try to be present wherever you may end up, to offer any further assistance, but my presence in these realms is rather limited. Just stay safe, and again, please help Ismark. He is dear to me.
If you answered all of our questions, I feel like it would be a disservice not to help you a little bit.
Ravenia will bow and say, "We appreciate your aid and hospitality, madam."
And I appreciate your willingness to look into the matter. And she bids you farewell as you exit her hut. So, you guys are given free reign, and some lovely drinks, Would you like to go straight to the biggest, fanciest manor in the village, or
The shittiest, biggest answer.
it's
Still kind of shit, but
The shiniest of the garbage.
you gotta make a dumpster a home, you know?
Ravenya's kind of looking. What a bizarre interaction. I've never heard of Fae that have been so bound and connected like that. It's very alien from where I come from.
it's everything here seems to be a bit different than what you would expect in some ways. It's not that I expected there to be a thriving cultural life here, but it's quiet. And I kind of hate that, if I'm being honest.
It's bizarre that for a place that is supposedly so intimately connected to him itself, that the people who reside in it despise him so. And that he seems to be a prisoner here as well.
I don't think people of any regard, regardless of their situation, would take very kindly to living under such a violent, tyrannical rule.
Of course, I'm just simply presuming if they are as much creations of this land as any other potential adversary or obstacle we encounter, why create something that's so diametrically opposed to you?
Something so dark and dreary. I mean, if you have your own world, why would it make it look like this?
Perhaps it's just as rotted as he is.
My thoughts exactly. He might fancy himself to be godlike, but as Miss Ravinia pointed out, I don't think he's quite as powerful as he makes himself out to be.
I mean, just to sort of jump on that, when I brought up finding a way to leave outside of his will, he seemed interested, didn't he?
Quiet.
A strange man. Look forward to killing him.
That's the first sensible thing you've said since we arrived.
Oh, you wound me. Just because I wanted to take a deal that would promise my survival doesn't mean that I'm entirely not there.
Well, we've at least bought some time before he revisits that scenario.
Yeah, and what the hag was saying, apparently there might be a way to defeat him if we head over to the other town, but I know we've got business here first. I'm just a little eager, before he decides to rear his ugly head again.
Not that I don't believe in just the four of us, but we were able to find some form of allies to assist. I think that would be a good idea.
Indeed, the true bane of tyrants is generally the alliance of the many.
Making friends, I like the way we're thinking.
Jericho has opened his mouth about to say something and decided against it.
He's like clap his hand on his shoulder. It's okay, I knew you were gonna say the same thing.
Something, the more people there are, the greater liability it is, Decided against it. He can't shatter that puppy dog smile.
He can't power word kill all of us. Okay. So you guys gonna go approach the Burgomaster's home?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the Burgermeister home.
The Burgermaster.
Burgermeister.
Master of the
I
Burgers.
hate the fact this isn't gonna be the last time I have to use this term.
Yeah, it's a.
It's a
I like
real
it
type.
especially because it's a German term, and Lily would love that.
A Burgermeister means just like Lord of the Town.
Yeah, it's like a mayor kind of thing.
Yeah.
Das ein Burgermeister.
Burgers.
Burger.
Burger.
Okay. As you guys approach the largest abode, I will say, as it is also decrepit and crumbling, you can see the makes of what very clearly was once a more pristine manor. You see what was once a beautiful line fence now fallen apart, crumbled and rusted. You see footprints of various creatures alongside what must have once been a great lawn. A rusted and stagnant water-filled fountain lies in the front. And surprisingly, despite the awful state of things, there is a pair of well-defined doors. The engravings are still very clear, and whilst also covered in that awful rust, the doorknobs still somewhat shine reflected in the moonlight. You guys can approach the door as no one is outside to greet you, and knock on it, to which you hear footsteps on the other side. A dead, silent environment around you. You can hear footsteps. The door pulls back to reveal a man with long, gray-white hair, a very wrinkled and stressed appearance. I will show you now Ismark the Lesser. Ismark Kolyanovich.
Oh, getting cucked at his own title.
Yeah.
Listen, this is what the book says, and how far be it from me to use the book's words.
Ismark the not well endowed.
Oh, you don't even know, so let me get into it.
The first thing they take from you in Barovia.
Now, unlike his appearance here, he is a little older looking. He has stubble alongside his chin, and his outfit is slightly more battle decked out. It's still that of a commoner, but it's not just commoner clothing. It's like a reinforced leather armor. To his side, he has a well-used club hanging off of his belt. And he only opens the door very slightly so that you can't really get a good look inside, but your sight is taken up by his stocky and wide frame. Can I...
So, Burgermeister?
Yes, I am Ismark Kolyanovich, the Burgermeister of Barovia, village of Barovia, Barovia. I hate that law. I take it you are Strahd's guest.
Well, that's an awfully kind way of putting it.
It's the term that best fits, because thankfully, while it's not the case for you, you aren't exactly... Not everyone who came here was as hostile towards him as you. But I'm glad to see that. He gives this very exasperated sigh, and then he exits the building, closes the door behind him, and says, "My son is currently entertaining a guest at the moment.
Hey, yo.
And I would like to maybe buy some time so you all won't have to see him. The guest, I mean. My son, very dear to me. Please meet him." So, how can I help all of you?
Madame Reina said that we should speak to you about a current issue.
The hag that lives on the outskirts of town?
Indeed.
I have yet to speak to her myself. I'll have to send thanks over. She said I needed help, correct?
Correct.
Yes, this is going to be a long tale to explain. And far be it from me to keep you all out here in the rain. He's like very like frustrated with what he's had to do. Please come in, as he opens the door and welcomes you all into his home.
Then you bow slightly to him. Thanks.
He's a man of some political import. Gotta do what your daddy expected you to do. I understand, Ravenna.
Yep. I am a noble. I gotta keep up appearances.
As you all enter the home, you see rotting paintings, banisters have fallen to the floor, grass and dirt growing along cracks in the floor. The room is very poorly lit. It's as if there were no servants taking care of it, just a small family. He leads all of you into a parlor. The first thing that greets you from outside the parlor as you look in is a very, very poor looking woman. Blue skin, wiry frame, very skinny. Looks to be like she's not... There's food placed by her, so you know that she is... There's an attempt to feed her, but she herself looks very starved. She's currently knitting and looking out the window while rocking back and forth in her chair. And then as you all turn right to enter into the actual room, you are greeted with the sight of two individuals. The first of which is a young man sitting at a sort of table with cards strewn about it. I will go ahead and show him off by just placing him on the thing.
Is the other person Strahd? Is it Strahd?
It is in fact Strahd, yes.
God damn it.
Knew it. I knew it.
I
As
knew
he
what he
is-
was being cagey about. It was fucking Strahd.
You see Strahd smiling and smirking, playing cards against the young man sitting across from the table. You got me again, young Aaron, quite. I bring you these cards, and you swear to me you haven't seen them before, right? Because every time I come with a new deck, you beat me. Hello, friends! As he waves to you while holding a hand of cards.
Grimace in disgust.
Shoots a smile at Ismark as Ismark walks over and says, "Excuse me, Lord von Zarevich. May I humbly request that you leave so I may entertain these new guests that have found their way to my abode?" And Strahd snickers. Now, Ismark, we're friends. You can call me Strahd. Ismark looks so fucking pissed. Looks so fucking miffed. Strahd throws his hands up and says, "I understand. Aaron, we will have to continue these games another time." Now, as your reward, he reaches under his fur coat and pulls out a sack of glimmering powder and puts on the table, and you guys can all make out that it's sugar. It's just a bag of sugar that Aaron will take, and then as like that sort of like child that does not want to meet his parents' friends, he looks at all of you and then just like nods his head and then hurriedly sneaks off to the back.
Strahd distributing drugs to children, let it be known.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually sugar, I swear to you guys. Sorry, I'm like trying my best to like show off both of these NPCs on the recording right now. Okay, so Ismark will gesture all of you to take a seat wherever you see fit. There's a couch, an ottoman, a spare rocking chair in front of the fireplace, as he himself will pull up a much larger chair and take a seat.
So that's the kind of company you keep, huh?
Not by choice, I'm afraid.
Of course it's by choice. You have to invite him in.
Got him.
Did he make you all an offer? One that seemed very hard to refuse?
Not so hard.
Well, I mean, maybe if you were a father, you'd understand, but I couldn't refuse. Please, take a seat. Son, please fetch a kettle of tea. And you hear some footsteps in the back. Seems the next room over is a kitchen of sorts. And while that tea is being brewed, Ismark will turn to all of you and say, now, I take it since you've already spoken with someone that you have a general idea of what to expect in this town.
Yes, decrepit and lost souls.
Or rather, lack thereof.
And of your goals and reasons to be here, and someone explained to you why why most Barovians have blue skin, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
because I had a very awkward time explaining that to the last guests that had arrived.
Does seem a bit of a strange choice, if I might say so myself.
Looking at fucking Khaled, the blue-skinned person.
He makes note of Ravenia's look and goes, exactly. It's very hard to explain that when people of all sorts of color come through here, and then you are trying not to sound insensitive, but it's also the nature of these lands, and
Why did Strahd
wait.
choose that then?
he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, then what magic binds them in such a way?
The magic of life. No more than you and I can dictate the color of our own skins at birth. Neither can the Barovians. And they're not any more the lesser for it, but it's definitely contributing as to why the deities that were once present are not so present here any longer. Can't exactly pray for salvation if they deem nothing worthy of salvation. Regardless, I do need your help. You've seen this town. You've seen how shit it is, right?
It is in a certain state of disrepair, yes.
No, be honest. It is entirely understandable.
No, I'd call it a shithole. Yeah.
When I was younger, my father was the previous burgomaster. And I remember a time when this village looked a lot nicer. Still arguably shit. We still had other adventurers who visited Barovia to let us know how shit it was. But at least people were out and about. My father and I made the decision to take in a strange girl who had lost her way. A young woman by the name of Irina, who had lost her family. That was mistake number one. You see, souls in Barovia go through a loop, and then realizes the recognition in your eyes, like, oh, okay, I don't have to explain that. And Strahd, being around as much as he has a vetted interest in various souls that come up every now and then. Now, I don't know whose soul it is that matters to him, but it was housed in the body of my stepsister Irina. Strahd had sought her. For what purposes, I do not know. He made claims of marriages, but I do not trust that thing that resides above us all. Naturally, his endeavors ended in failure. At the cost of my dear sister. And ever since, Strahd, in an effort to capture her soul again, has put a sort of bear trap around this town. If any women are born here, they are absconded with the Castle Ravenloft, and he turns to look at his wife. and then back at all of you. They're broken. All in an effort to see if they're who he looks for. And while a woman hasn't been born yet housing that soul, Strahd still seeks her. This isn't a place where my boy can find a future. He has reason to believe that her soul is more than likely to reappear here. And he coerced me into a contract so that he wouldn't kill my boy, the same way I took away his love.
But Strahd had mentioned that that natives didn't have to sign the contract, right?
There's a difference between the ability to choose not to and whether or not one should. My boy wasn't even born yet, and I already knew what he could have done to him. I didn't want to lose him. So I made a deal. I would be as amicable as possible to Strahd. That was it. To be kind and to be hospitable towards him. It's all in some disgusting manner that should his loved one's soul reincarnate, my bloodline would be more than happy to welcome him in it. I know it's a disgusting thing I've done, but I want my boy to be free of it. So please, take my son to Vallaki. I fear it is the only place he could find safety. The Burgermeister there is very, very clearly against Strahd, and one of the few forces capable of pushing back against him. So please, I beg of you, take my boy. I will give you anything within my power, but please get him to safety. I don't want him to have to make the same decision I did.
Your son already seems mighty cozy with Strahd. Who's to say he's gonna come with us?
My son is a pushover. Even I'm aware of how much I've been able to spoil him in lands such as these. Doesn't help that Strahd is so willing to cow to his every wishes. All in some vain effort to groom the re-arrival of his loved one. My son will come with you, simply because I demand that he does so. And if in your travels, if you could, please raise him to be a strong and more independent man. So to clarify the whole soul thing, whoever this soul is, it's believed that they'll loop back into the village of Barovia, and Strahd is like, well, the rest of the Barovians I can push over, but if they get reincarnated in the Kolyanovich line, I really want to make sure I can push that over, because Ismark has a very negative relationship with Strahd already, a la the death of his sister, so Strahd is trying to hedge his bets here.
So the son is supposed to be, like, siring potentially the next soul that could have Irenia or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Potentially. It's a bet Strahd's making, but he's also just having fun torturing the supposed brother of the woman that housed a soul that was very important to him.
Gotcha.
Well, I suppose that is where we plan to at least make our way to, so two birds with one stone as such.
Of course, you all would seek Vallaki as well. I am Here, and he goes up to one of the rotting paintings inside the parlor that you're all in and lowers it, revealing a sort of vault behind it, a safe. He flicks it open and pulls out a document. Now, this is a deed to property in Vallaki. It will still be under my son's name, just because I, as a father, need to guarantee his safety, but if you hold this deed, you may use it. It's currently under the caretaker of one called a Richter. It's a old clock tower that my lineage owned in Vallaki. You can use it as a base of operations.
Oh,
Very kind.
yeah, thanks.
Oh.
That'll help us a lot.
My apologies, Richten, not Richter.
Oh, I was like, the Richter? Fucking Van Richter or whatever.
Yeah, the full title of the caretaker is Rudolf van Richten.
Let me ask this. You said your son is a pushover. Can he hold his own in battle in any way, shape, or form?
I've at least taught him how to fight using some form of magic that he found. And by taught him, I more so had him cast different things on me. I'm not exactly familiar with the arcane arts. If you could help him there as well, I would greatly appreciate it.
Every one of us has at least some connection to the weave here, so whether it be faith-based or arcane in nature.
I'm sorry, guys. I really like the Richter comparison. I that his name is Rudolf von Richter now.
No.
Jericho, is this acceptable? I know you tend to hold the most reservations to trust, well, anything, really.
Given the wild circumstances that we are in, I am wholeheartedly in favor of saving the next generation from the mistakes of their fathers.
Got him.
Well, very good then.
How far is Vallaki from here, and what dangers should we expect along the way?
So we'll refer back to the map tab. I don't believe there's a time scale, so if you follow the old Svalich road, which is this red outlined road you guys see coming out of the village of Barovia.
1 square equals a quarter mile.
You know, I don't want to do math, so we'll hand wave it. As you follow the old Svalich road, you will find very minimal dangers. Strahd von Zarevich wishes to... He still impedes the daily life of the people, but naturally he does not seek our deaths, so the roads themselves are relatively safe until you camp for the night, or God forbid you are unlucky to come across a sentient creature seeking your demise. But yes, they're very safe. Following this road past the Serre Pool and the Serre Falls, you'll come to a junction here. As you hang due west, you will make your way to Vallaki. Now, the map doesn't do it justice. This map is very old. Vallaki's grown into a much larger, more capable force. Now, make a note here. I said go west. Do not, under any circumstances, go east. That is Castle Ravenloft, Strahd's very domain and home. And unless you are invited there, its defenses will tear you asunder.
Duly noted.
At least we know where it is now.
He makes no attempt to hide it from you all. He truly expects you to at least try and kill him. One more thing. I haven't seen it yet myself, but there's talks that I've heard upon my visits to Castle Ravenloft. But a strange path called a railroad. If you come across it, just be wary. That's all I can offer you. I have no idea what it could be.
Oh, you have railroads here?
Okay, great. You know more about it than I do.
It's a little antiquated, but it checks out.
I've only seen glimpses of the steel beast that rides along it, and of the construction of something far sinister. I've only seen silhouettes of it around here. A large structure being built. I have no idea what. That's all I know.
Regarding your son, is he aware of your intentions for him?
To send
Or
him
are we
away?
just going to be springing this on him?
I've told him before, and I fear it hasn't set into him how real this is. But once he comes through that door, once he sees all of you here raring to go, and after you've finished your tea, he will understand that he should go. And as of that moment, Aaron walks in with a tray of tea and several cups and a second tray of, like, snacks. Really nice snacks, despite the, where you guys are. He sets them
Perking
as...
up at snacks.
Little tea cakes and biscuits, all, like, they're kind of warm, like they were, like, baked earlier today. Which, yeah, it's pretty nice. Upon him setting on the items, Ismark will approach his son and put his hands on his shoulders. Sort of like, it's very funny to see because you have this very big older man grabbing what is like a beanpole of a child, of like a young adult. Looks at him and says, Aaron, now is the time. You must go from here. You must find safety in our home in Vallaki. I promise you, son, nothing bad will harm you as long as these people are with you. Aaron looking up at his father. The first words you hear from his mouth. Okay. And he walks off to get his stuff. Ismark is very bewildered at that, but... Right. So, please help yourselves. I will go along to setting up the wagon so that you will have and a steed. I should have a spare donkey or pack mule for you all to use. Right now it is midday. As you guys stay in Barovia, you'll get a feel for it, trust me. You'll probably want to seek encampment around Sare Falls, around the junction between the castle and the path to Vallaki. He points at the map. I'm not going to go back and forth through the map page.
Yeah.
Just hand wave it. Please take whatever moment you need to breathe. I'll be in the stables. My son will be shortly down in the foyer with his belongings, and my wife will be happier with some warm presence around her. Take your time, and Ismark will get up from his seat and head off into the manor.
It seems that we have already receiving wards entrusted into our care.
It speaks volumes when children are safer in the hands of strangers than in their own homes.
Well, I think he just means we all look really capable. Definitely help him out. I mean, this.
How
place
is-
Hmm?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
The woman in the chair, I presume being the mother,
The starving one who has food.
Yes. Has she demonstrated any kind of reaction or awareness to this conversation that we've been having about Aaron?
I take it that throughout the conversation, you guys like occasionally take glances at her, like that like estranged grandma at a friend's house who was just vibing in a chair. You can like you try to make eye contact with her on occasion, you try to like read her body behavior, but she is just absent-mindedly meeting with this like 1,000-yard stare, her glassy eyes not reflecting a single ounce of recognition in any of you. If it wasn't for the fact that she was breathing and occasionally adjusting herself, you like her cognizance would not occur to any of you.
I actually think Jericho is going to approach her chair and sort of kneel in front of her and just kind of talk softly to her, like, we're gonna take good care of him. He'll be better off.
She'll continue to rock back and forth in that chair. There's no real sign of recognition outside of any internal peace you may get from telling this woman that her son will be taken care of.
And when everything's okay, he'll be back.
You know, Jericho. Oh,
I was gonna say
This is
still
the most-
listens.
yeah, you're fine. Callan just speaks up. You know, Jericho, this is the most compassion I think you've had towards another living being since we've gotten here.
He'll look at the woman for a little bit longer, stand back up, rejoin the group. She just... I know that look. And she could use some reassuring.
We know he has a sweet side after all.
Indeed.
There's hope for the old man Yowie. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk about, or will you gather in the foyer for your little trip?
One thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Callan would kind of speak up and just be like, if we're going to be traveling over a long distance, I just want to clear the air so that way there's as little mistrust amongst acquaintances as possible. I know that my decision to be willing to sign the contract is in direct opposition to at least a few of your core belief systems. But just know that everything I do is for the general well-being and survival of us here. And I will not be taking decisions that cause any of you to befall any sort of harm or danger. I just want to be clear about that.
understand.
I do want to roll insight on that.
This lying bitch.
I really do.
I mean, you can roll it, and if you want to contest that, Callan, because you're not necessarily.
Are
I
you
can roll-
trying to
Actually, no.
bamboozle us?
You know what? Don't contest it because I don't want you to give away whether or not this would be deception or persuasion. But I want you to like give your take based on their rolls.
That's a 2.
Lol. The most paranoid person with the worst insight roll.
Oh no! I would say, is Ravenna doing that as well, or were you going to say something different?
Ravenna was just gonna say, it was like, I understand, and at this point I think that we are the only ones that we can truly trust here.
Meanwhile, I'm rolling insight.
The point is to make you not feel like you have to roll insight, so here we are.
Wrap it up and bum.
Helen, despite her very prickly appearance, does put survival and overall victory above all else. So, though what she says may just be seemingly to save face to someone that is paranoid, it is genuine.
Genuine, but it's also a 2, Jericho. I don't trust this bitch.
I know that you're keen on surviving, as all of us are. I just wonder if that plan for survival includes the rest of us.
It always has and it always will.
Oh, Kellen, that's so sweet of you.
Well,
He's kind of tearing up a little bit.
when you
Mork will be the first to die.
when you lose thousands of people in your charge over the course of decades,
Thousands.
that may be an underestimate, but yes.
An underestimate.
Yes. We fight wars, and not very many people make it back. As a commander of this force, it is natural. Oftentimes, the groups that I have are in the hundreds, and generally, I would say on average, 15 to 20 come back alive.
Venya puts her hand to her lips like, Jesus Christ.
Given your track record,
Yes, I understand the sentiment that's coming here because it does not sound positive, but the threats that we face are that of intergalactic, threat. The people in the forces that we deal with could potentially destroy planets or more if we do not put stops to them. So yes, the loss of life is immeasurable, but it's all for the greater good of keeping everyone else safe. So while I may have a cold exterior, just know that everything I do for the safety of the innocent people throughout the multiverse. I don't mean to put myself on some sort of high pedestal. God knows I've made many mistakes that have cost people lives. But
yeah, nearly 80%.
Jericho, when you face things the size of castles, 80% is a pretty good number.
Jericho doesn't show a lot of emotion on his face, but you could tell that he's kind of horrified. Like, his faith in you has kind of shattered.
Oof. I'm not trained as a soldier, but nor do I understand the full scope of this planar combat you engage in, but I'm positive that you have proven yourself in your capabilities with us, and that we can rely on you to be able to. And she kind of is looking at everyone else as she's saying this, like she's trying to kind of like bolster up Khaled after that. We can rely on you when the time comes to stand side by side, as she points at like Warwick, then over to Jericho, with the rest of us in battle.
Well, I appreciate it. This is something I was born into. Not much of a say to it, so it's all I've ever known. And the faith and support of those close to me is what keeps you going, I suppose. I've spoken far too much about my personal feelings, but I just wanted to help others feel like I'm not hiding anything.
Oh, I think you opened up to us like that. It really means a lot.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go take a moment.
Once she leaves, Jericho's gonna lean into the other two, like, so we agree, we are not leaving the kid with her, right?
I feel like we can rely on her to protect him.
I'm just saying, if only 20% of us are making it out of this arrangement based off of her track record, I'd rather it be the kid.
Well, she wasn't the first I would have thought for a babysitter, but it has potential at least.
This isn't a war, and we are not soldiers. I feel it is quite a dichotomous situation, and we should not be treating our particular scenario like the kinds of battles that she has led.
Yeah, it's all about a little bit of faith, right? You know all about that, Jericho.
He is trying so hard to show some semblance of, yeah, sure, I believe in this.
God's real? I totally didn't just see him in a mirror or something.
No, but just, listen, faith comes in all forms. I, of course, have faith in the Man of Sorrows, in myself most days. I have faith that we all want to do what's right by the group and the greater good, but hearing her speak so casually about the depths of her military losses, it's astounding. The lack of value in a life. And I know that fighters do what we have to survive another day. I'll never blame someone for that. I just don't trust her to value our lives as much as she values her own.
Well,
When-
then we'll just have to keep an eye on each other, right? That's what friends do. Keep each other accountable and make sure we're all doing the right thing.
Exactly. She's never been in a situation where she's had us alongside her. And soon we will have others. And hopefully we will have my sister soon.
Yes, positivity. It's gonna get us a long way here.
She
Let's-
will be a great help, and in the worst case scenario, she is fortunate enough to not be here. And we will have to do everything we can to leave this place, and I can tell her all of the stories of the great evils we overcame and the children we protected, as she gestures to Jericho.
Yes, all right. I like that. You're doing a really good job. All right. And I think it'll help too, Jericho, if you say something positive too. Help lighten the mood a little bit. Maybe something you're looking forward to finding out?
You could see Jericho is quiet. You could tell he's desperately trying to think of something to say that's not inherently negative.
He's looking at you so expectantly, so eyes practically sparkling, so eager.
The only thing that I'm looking for is the blessing of waking to another day. And so far, most of us are still alive. And it is with my every intention to keep it that way until we're out of this.
Okay, that was good. That was a pretty good start. Okay, yeah, good answer. Hey, I mean, it's the thought that counts. It's gonna be scary, and I mean, this Strahd guy is actual bananas, but we have each other, and it's gonna be fine. And he kind of like extends his arms and kind of like wraps the two in a small like half hug.
Ravedia will give a kind of awkward hug back.
You man.
I'm just thinking about the height difference. We are now in Warwick's pecs. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, Callan really missing out.
she really is.
It's okay, there'll be one specifically reserved for her, so.
So, that's it for you guys then? All good? Okay.
Ravedia will kind of walk up to the, still giving Callan some space, but is gonna be kind of adjacent to Callan for whatever she feels like turning back or anything. But yeah, that's it from me for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You all make your way back to the foyer where Ismark is waiting. The doors are wide open, and even though you feel the cold air and wind flow into the house, there is no rain to greet you. Coming down from the steps on the rickety, cracking, awful fucking stairs is Aaron, who is very sheepishly lugging their luggage with them. You hear a loud thud on each step as they just sort of like pull it just like a little bit very awkwardly. You guys just sit there for all 32 steps of this happening. Aaron gets down, starts dragging it into the cart as Mark leads you all over. The wagon itself isn't exactly like built for travel. It's like for leisure. You guys will not be riding in it, but walking alongside it. There's like some seating room, but not for everybody. So like for instance, Ravenia and Callan could take shifts, etc. Just to give you an idea, it's very clearly meant to pull along luggage and Aaron, who is sitting in the back of the wagon. This is a very old wagon, but it's always come through for me. Could last you for the day's trip to Vallaki, or 2 days trip. Like I said before, at that junction past the Sare Pools, right between the turn to Ravenloft Castle and Vallaki, there'll be a good spot to rest. Okay? It might not be comfortable, but you guys should be fine to take a night's rest there, hopefully.
We appreciate your hospitality.
No. Don't thank me. Thank you. I promise you, once you reach Vallaki and you have a roof over your heads, you can afford whatever time you need to think to plan things out, okay? And thank you again for taking care of my son.
Jericho will extend a hand out to Ismark.
It's like a handshake?
Yeah.
He does the cool thing where, like, you grab each other by the wrists instead of the hands.
Oh, the warrior shake.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, what chads.
And, like, kind of like a side with just you, Jericho, he asks, please make sure my son comes out as strong a man as he can be. Because I won't always be around to protect him. And hopefully you won't have to be either.
Jericho gives a nod and just very quietly says, I'll do everything that I can. I understand a little better than you know.
He nods and you guys let go of each other's arms. And with that, you guys can shove off to the road with Aaron in tow. I'm sorry, give me a second to open my door.
All good.
Hi. Huh?
And definitely at some point during this, he's gonna slip beside Callan and kind of hold out his arms and just kind of look at her.
Oh.
Is this supposed to be making up for something?
For your efforts today in trying to make this little dysfunctional team a little bit closer.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No, I don't exactly feel like I deserve it, considering perhaps it was not the best idea to say earlier that I've lost so many people. It does not exactly inspire confidence, but this is a different story than... I'm overthinking this, aren't I?
It's okay, just bring it in.
Warwick demands his hug.
No thoughts, only huggies.
Yep.
She'll very, like, gently sort of, like... I think she's about, like, 5'10"-ish. I don't know.
Okay.
How tall is Warwick again?
He's 6'2".
Okay. So she'll
Heck,
just kind of,
honey.
like, go... She'll kind of, go in for the hug, but do, like, the reach under, so that way it can sort of just, like, grab, like, around his side sort of gently.
Mm-hmm. He's like full gentle bear hug, like all encompassing around her.
She's going to, take it, embrace for a moment. And as she pulls away, she's just going to sort of like nod softly for looking away and just taking a bit of a... before just going back to her own thoughts.
That entire hug, Aaron was leering over the edge of the wagon looking at you guys. That's it. And with that, you guys can make your way down to, towards Vallaki.
I think as we are on the road, Jericho would initiate a proper introduction to Aaron, just to try to make him feel a little more comfortable about being literally carted around by strangers.
Alright. Hit him with your introduction.
I think he would just keep it very simple. Just, it is nice to meet you. Aaron, I'm Jericho. And that green fella over there, that's Warwick. That, that gray woman over there, that's Miss Ravenna. And the water lady, that's Miss Callan.
It's nice
We'll
to
be-
meet. Oh, sorry.
We'll be taking care of you.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Jericho. Thank you for escorting me. He reaches into a pocket. Would you like a cookie?
Oh, that's awfully kind of you, but I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, sir. He's
I imagine it's-
closed off. Go ahead.
I imagine it's awfully scary. Is this your first time leaving home?
Yeah, but I'm not really scared. I mean, it's all Barovia, right?
I suppose it is.
Yeah. I don't think Strahd would let anything bad happen to me, so I'm not really worried. I'm just along for the ride, I guess.
That might be true, but I wouldn't put all your faith in a being like Strahd. But it's good to trust others as well.
My dad trusts you, so I will too, don't worry. Ismark Aaron kind of like closes himself off again, sort of like punches back into the wagon.
Jericho's satisfied with this interaction. He's like, I did good.
I am parenting. This is what parenting do.
Warwick giving him 2 thumbs up from the other side of the carriage.
Oh my goodness, okay.
I know how to talk to kids.
Revenge is gonna slide up on Callan as we proceed out.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of put her hand against Callan's arm and look up at her and say, I really appreciated hearing about your experience.
Well, I suppose you're welcome. I'm realizing now that people live very different lives, a bit more so than I previously did.
It's understandable. We all come from different walks of life. Perhaps there will come a point when your life knows peace, and then I imagine you would have a very different perspective when meeting another soldier.
I suppose so. If I make it another 10 years or so, who knows? Maybe then I'll be able to move on beyond the front lines, but you know, we'll see if we can make it there.
I am fully confident that you will be able to make it through here and achieve your aspirations. I find having somebody with such skills and familiarity with combat to be a refreshing perspective from my own particular views.
Well, good. Now I just have to hope that I won't be branded a traitor for leaving, or anything of the sort. That's, I suppose, something else to consider. But, I would be glad to continue to share my presence with you and share whatever experiences might help elucidate on my life. Seeing as it is very different from everyone else's.
Look up at Callan with her big, bright violet eyes in her black sclera, and just give a little smile, peeling back her lips, and just look up at Callan and go, I would love to hear more about you and the places you've gone. I find that this is an unusual and perhaps, albeit initially unexpected, crossing of ways, but as somebody who frequents the greater multiverse, I'm sure that crossing paths is something that you are probably more familiar with than I am, and I find it to be a deeply fascinating trait.
Yeah?
Callan is very thrown off by such a forward display of affection. It's just kind of looking down and just thinking, well, of course I would be glad to share with you. I've been to many planets and many other worlds, some of which are calm, well, and some of which are not so much, but it's, yeah, no, of course. Your eyes are very striking. Do you know that? It's kind of difficult for me to look at them because they are so different from any others that I've, gazed at.
Well, I appreciate you gazing longingly into my eyes. As she kind of does a little chuckle, because it's simply a part of my lineage. A quirk of fate and blood. But I happen to say that the sapphire jewels that look down upon me are quite enthralling in their own right.
Oh
Are
my
they talking
god,
about
stop
rocks?
making out!
I think they're talking about rocks.
Well, you would be the first to say so, but I appreciate the flattery, nonetheless. I would love to regale you with tales, but, perhaps by the campfire. I just think I need a minute. A few more minutes.
She'll, slowly, kind of delicately, pull her fingers off one by one and smile at Callan and goes, I will look forward to the opportunity, and I will be eagerly awaiting your every word upon your adventures.
Of course. Thank you again, Ravenia. Done a lot to help take my mind off things.
I'm happy to be of use, Miss Callan.
Okay, y'all done making out?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it out.
Any other makeouts I gotta do? I love my players. I can't wait to add toxicity to this Yuri.
Oh.
Oh.
You guys continue walking alongside the wagon carrying Aaron and the supplies and other things up until this bridge here. I will go ahead and click on it. Shift click, I guess, to really drag your attention there. At this point, your, circadian rhythms are beginning to match up Barovia as Wark gives off a yawn. You all begin to feel it's been a very long day. And this would be a good place to take that first encampment in the actual realm of Barovia. Aaron helps you all set up for the night. And then he speaks up from his, as the tents are all laid down, you all take in your surroundings. The west of this bridge are the Sayre Falls themselves, and there's something peaceful yet terrifying about it. The whole looking into an abyss of water, and how calm it is. A deep, dark calm. Surrounding you from the south and to the east is woods, but even further east, silhouetted by the moonlight behind it, is Castle Ravenloft, its intimidating and imposing figure, leaving you gulping as you get ready for your night's rest. As Aaron lights the campfire and begins cooking dinner, the first question pops up in everyone's mind. Who will be taking first watch?
I think Jericho would probably volunteer for first watch.
Okay. Any objections? Anyone else want to fight over first watch?
Nope.
Nope, Jericho can do it.
Okay. Is there any bit of RP you guys would like to do, or you wind down for the night?
Not necessarily RP, but just as ever, Jericho's going to divine sense the area, just to make sure that there's nothing on the prowl aside from the horrors that just is Barovia.
Okay. At this point, I will just say for you and Warwick that I am not going to point out the fact that you're in Barovia. You guys have gotten the feel of it. You know what, you know what a false positive
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
Immediately, nothing really picks up of note that is outside the normal, but could you give me a perception check?
Yeah. That's a 10.
Honestly, off a 10, you can't make it out. But something of a Fae presence lights up. Aware of you, but not, like, approaching you. Sort of like just watching from the shadows. Whatever the equivalent of Fae is from Jericho's realm would probably be reminiscent for you. Mushroom circles, etc. I don't know. Are there fairies in Vampire Hunter D?
There's like... There are other general, like, monsters. The first example that comes to my mind that might be Fae adjacent is, like, Caroline from Bloodlust. She's, like, a plant lady. She can control plants and, like, become plants and stuff.
Yeah, because the thing about, like, D is it's all science stuff at its core.
Right. Everyone's
rather
just,
than magic.
everyone's just radioactive.
Oh yeah, wait, we talked about this. Yeah, no, this
Radioactive
reads.
Fae.
Yeah, you read radiation in the distance, my guy. It's very small, and very respectful of the presence that your encampment has, so it won't engage. And you are cognizant of it, so you don't need to constantly keep divine sense up. So yeah.
Okay.
You're not sure what it is in the vicinity, if it's even within eyesight, but it's respecting your space. Okay. Is that all? As we settle in for the night?
Yes, from Jericho. That'll be it for now.
Okay. Alright, thankfully Ismark packed you all separate tents and bed cots, so, you guys don't have to RP being together at night, God forbid.
Oh, damn.
Oh no.
We're not there
forbid we
yet,
have to
we're not there
snuggle.
yet. You guys are, I will force you all to slow
4
burn.
beds.
Oh.
Oh, shucks. Anyways, it is almost the end of session, so I will leave you
Yep.
all with this little hook for next session, or this little tidbit, this teaser. As you all close your eyes, those of you who are going to sleep, close your eyes. You are greeted with the dreams and visions that feel full of presences, unbeknownst, like, to your own mind. And Jericho, as you settle in for the night, with the only thing keeping you company being the campfire and the moonlight itself, you begin to notice there was a structure in the distance to the east that you guys didn't make note of originally. A set of gallows with a somewhat familiar body hanging from them. And as your eyes trace its silhouette up to make contact with it, we will go ahead and end session there.
Oh,
Yeah, spooky! Ooh, those weren't there before. Ooh,
The spookster.
horror-themed campaign. Ooh.
let's go, spooky.
So yeah, that'll be it for tonight, y'all. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Yes, it was good. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. Please, again, check out these lovely players. Their socials are in the description. Obsidian has started streaming again. Go watch it. Lily Stocks will go through the fucking moon with Trans Comics. Go follow her. Yulia, my bestie, gay, stream, watch it. Maris, Regency campaign, toxic political romance RP, go watch it. I love you guys all. Are there any other closing words you guys would like to share?
We're fucking gay. Woo!
Accurate.
They're fucking making out. It's not even officially in campaign yet. God damn it.
Don't accept sugar from vampires, kids.
All right.
Hugs, not drugs.
Hugs, not drugs.
Anyways, good night, you all, and bye.
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 Bye.